Get your fucking mic out of your mouth. Ew. Stop it. Stop. Stop.
Is that good enough for you? God, I'm looking at like my webcam view right now, and I'm using this shitty ass webcam, and it looks like
pretty bad.
Like it's my nose up, so it's like a weird profile thing going on, and my eyes are constantly looking down. So I regret choosing this. Anyways, welcome back to the Prude podcast. Summer is here, finally, sort of, for some of us at least. Yammin is still taking exams or something, and that's why he can't be here. So, give a thumbs up for Yammin, send him some love or something on Twitter. He always likes attention, even though he doesn't like to admit it. He loves to get people saying nice things to him. So, tell him that you like how his face looks, or tell him how you appreciate how his glasses rest on his nose. So, anything like that. Patrick, what's new with you? How are things going?
I'm tired.
Yeah, what is your situation? It's 2:30 in the afternoon. Why are you tired?
Well, yesterday I had to go to New York for model stuff, and I got there at 9, and the train was 4 hours, so I was awake from 4 a.m. Until when I got home, technically this morning at 12:48 a.m. So I was awake for a very long time.
So what did you do in New York exactly, if you can talk about that?
A bunch of meetings. Went to this building full of people a couple times.
Was someone like showing you around and shit, like
No.
guiding you, or you just had
had appointments.
Damn. Okay. Did you get fed at least? Were there any
I
perks?
fed myself.
So there were no perks at all.
There were appointments that I went to.
And those appointments had air conditioning at least.
Some of them did.
Some of them. Okay.
One of the buildings I went to was under construction. It was in Brooklyn, and that one was fucking weird.
I was gonna ask, like, are these buildings, are they actual like professional like high rises, typical offices, or are they like sketchy
very
boxes
fancy,
in a corner in like
expensive
Queens
places?
Okay, so most of them are, you wouldn't think are
they're
dangerous.
office buildings.
Okay, cool. Because some office buildings, you ever see, this is especially the case in around where we live, there are some very old office buildings around here that aren't in the city, right? They're in the suburbs. And
are you starting I'm going to stop you. Are you
No,
just going to
I'm
start
not-
a conversation
I'm not.
about infrastructure?
every day is infrastructure
I
day,
hate you.
Patrick.
This
No, I
is
actually
so
don't give a shit.
boring.
But like, you ever see those spooky ass empty office buildings that always just have a for lease sign on them and no one ever fucking rents them?
Feliz Navidad.
Shut the fuck up. Cinco de Mayo was 5 days ago. You're a little late with that.
I fucking hate people who's. It was one battle that the French lost or something in the middle of some revolution in the Mexican wilderness or something like that, and then a bottling company in the United States latched onto it as their reason to sell stuff, and now we have Cinco de Mayo or something like that. Stupid.
I don't think that's entirely true. Is
I
it?
just made all of that up.
Yeah, all of that is true. The
You're right.
Mexicans
You got me.
fought the Japanese from May the 4th to May the 5th. But no one ever calls it Cuatro de Mayo because it doesn't have a nice ring to it. So
Also, it's not as celebrated in Mexico. It's celebrated more here.
yeah,
It's just a reason to drink fucking Dos Equis or whatever.
Dos Equis is
You gonna
okay.
come up with a reason why I'm a fucking racist?
I'm just waiting to pin you as a racist. I'm
Yeah,
going to take
that's
some
great.
quote you said out of context and destroy your whole career. Do you think that's like... It always like makes me mad when call out people on Twitter are just like, this person said this problematic thing 3 years ago. Therefore, everything they do is
That's sometimes
invalid.
applicable.
Yeah, sometimes, but like sometimes it's absolutely ridiculous. Like, for example, Elon Musk dating Grimes, right? Like this whole thing, which I didn't even know who Grimes was.
Weren't they mad because Grimes had her bio as anti-industrialism or something like that? Imperialism.
Yeah,
like
so it is kind of funny because Elon Musk he's a really interesting dude, but he's not.
big rich guy.
Yeah, he's not a weird emo kid, right? Like he is.
He seems like he would be a fun person to hang out with.
Yeah, oh for sure. But he's like definitely a tech bro-y capitalist guy, right? Like he's not this super
A giant
progressive
conglomerate.
Yeah, he's not this like super progressive whatever the fuck it is that Grimes stands for, and now they're dating for some reason. Like Elon Musk literally has a goth girlfriend, so good for him.
Well, he's kind of like, I would say of this, like, he's like, I hate people who make this comparison, but he is somewhat like Tony Stark. He's sort of like, he's a handsome guy, kind of a rock star, like walks out and people scream his name. It's like, yay, and he makes like super fast electric cars and flamethrowers and launches cars into space and just does random shit for fun, it seems.
Yeah.
He seems like he would be the best choice to date.
I mean, like,
among the
it'd be fun to date him.
managers.
Yeah, but like the pairing there is so weird because she's just.
I don't know who the fuck Grimes is.
She's just this weird like artist. I barely knew. I didn't know who she was at all before any of this happened.
Like Rick Grimes.
That's the first thing I thought. I was like Walking Dead Grimes. Like,
I'm so fucking tired of The Walking Dead. How the fuck do people still watch that stupid, awful show?
Yeah, I don't know. It's been going on for like what, 10 seasons now?
87 seasons, and every single fucking time, I know Carl died. I guess it's a spoiler for this stupid fucking show no one cares about. It's become like Arrow or like The Legend of the Tomorrow. It's just garbage.
I feel like we have fans of all those shows.
I don't fucking care. They're bad.
They are bad. I would agree with that.
Carl's like this fucking annoying bipolar little weirdo who's like, 1 second he's like, I understand, Dad, like, I'm with you all the way, and then the next second he's like thinking about killing him or something like that. It's like, what the fuck? This is your dad.
I stopped after season 3. There was, well, one, they spent an entire season on a farm doing nothing, and that was boring as fuck. And then season 3 was them at the prison, right? And they were fighting.
God, I hated that shit.
They were fighting the pirate guy, the guy who had the patchy eye,
who beheaded a man with a samurai sword.
Yeah, and they just kept teasing that, and then like nothing ever happened until the season finale, and then it didn't even finish in the season finale because they wanted you to wait a year and a half for the next season to actually start watching it and give a shit.
The guy with the leather jacket and the scarf showed up, and he was like,
oh yeah, Negan or whatever.
They tried so hard to make him so, like, I don't know, like anti-hero, and like they made him cool. It was just like, this isn't your F. They almost made him like Heath Ledger, like, you don't even know what he's gonna do next. Like, he's a weird Joker-esque character, and he's like swinging a bat around. Stupid shit like that bothers me.
It's dumb as fuck, and like they just keep like cock teasing their audience by being like leaving shit on a cliffhanger, so you have to like watch the next one, right? Because you can't have a nice little self-contained story with a beginning, middle, and end every episode. No, it has to be like, but this person might get eaten by zombies. Tune in next week to find out if they did. And I'm like,
I never, ever will ever enjoy slow zombies, and it will never make sense to me. Shambling around. That is not a threat. That is not an obvious threat. And it doesn't make you feel like something might occur. It's just like, maybe if we wait here a day, someone might show up and try to attack us. Like, we don't know.
Yeah. Every time, and it's such bullshit, too. The Walking Dead is really
It's like if you heard that there was a pack of sloths out there somewhere, and they might kill you. You don't know. And there are also snails out there that might fucking, team up with the sloths. Stupid.
But every time The Walking Dead it's getting too boring, and they need to insert some drama out of nowhere, they'll have a walker pop out from behind a tree and just like bite into someone's neck out of fucking nowhere. Like, they'll just fucking die.
Stealth-trained walkers that are like Spec Ops people in real life.
They're wearing slippers and like slowly stepping onto like crunchy leaves and stuff, and everyone is wearing
Fisher coming down from the ceiling with night vision goggles. Fucking zombie.
Everyone's wearing earplugs, so no one can hear anything except the zombies. So they're like all just like constantly surrounded by 50 zombies at a time, but they can never
200-pound zombie doesn't make any fucking noise as his foot falls in the forest floor. Just like silent, sneaky zombies.
And that's the thing, like, honestly, that world just seems fucking gross to live in. And I know
oh my god, I hate their fucking hair so much. Shave your heads! You can't shower! You're so stupid and gross looking, you greasy, acne-scarred. So fucking gross.
It's, yeah, like, especially, Rick is actually the worst.
And Carl is fucking garbage. he is like down to his eyebrows, and you can see like when
it's
he moves
like
his head,
hanging.
like,
yeah, I'm just like
smearing the grease. Is like, oh god,
like for
cut
so
your
many
hair.
for so many reasons you should be cutting that off. Like it's a tactical thing. First off,
So you
to
grab your hair.
yeah, to fucking one, cut off your hair so no one can grab it. Two,
Hygienic.
you're constantly just gonna be fucking greasy and can't shower, so you should cut it off to be hygienic. But no, everyone
Daryl.
everyone
God.
grows massive fucking beards. Everyone grows out
And
their
bowl
hair.
cuts.
Do you think it's just made because they don't have scissors? They don't have shavers?
You don't need that. You can easily just
They
have a
haven't-
hackneyed haircut if it's
That's true.
worth just not being uncomfortable. Just watching them do stuff and not like. I wanted one of the characters to like just like fucking goddamn it, and like try to put up a ponytail or something, just anything
Yeah.
to get the hair out of their face and like off of their just. It's so gross. Just shave your fucking head.
They should just do an episode of Michonne taking that samurai sword to everyone's hair, and that's the only episode I would actually come back and watch, just because it'd be so satisfying.
Michonne had like was the badass person for a while, and then she started leading around zombies with chains, and I was like, okay. And then she was like doing push-ups, and I was like, that's not, you don't do push-ups in the apocalypse. I don't care about your muscle mass. You're burning usable calories. You're wasting food.
Well, I mean, I actually thought the walking with like zombies or whatever was pretty interesting.
I liked when they did the other version of that, which is just pull guts and just smear it on yourself.
Oh, but see, that's fucking gross. Like, I don't know
Yeah.
how you don't get infected from that.
It shouldn't be so easy. What about having two walkers chained up makes you look less like a person that's able to be eaten by a walker? Like, I don't understand how that, like if you didn't have them chained up and you were just standing next to two walkers, are other walkers just gonna not see that you're a person? I don't understand that.
I actually don't know. I don't remember the logic of that show, and to be honest, the show doesn't have a lot of logic to begin with. So
Well, they were her
stupid to.
husband and brother, right? Like they went cutscenes and stuff.
Oh, I think
Yeah.
I remember. Yeah,
And she
yeah,
cut
they actually
the
married
bottom of
her.
their jaws off so they couldn't bite anybody,
Yeah, exactly.
and their arms. So
Why don't they just do that to like all of the zombies? Do you think they could like enslave zombies for some sort of manual labor?
manual labor.
Yeah.
Well,
Like, if you need something to be pulled, like let's say you need to pull a big block or for whatever
what are you
fucking
fucking
reason.
building a pyramid?
Yeah,
This isn't fucking.
We're building the pyramids. If you just chain together a bunch of zombies, right,
And then stood in front of him.
and then you don't even have to stand in front of them. You can just put a big fucking ton of meat, like a cart of meat, in front of them, and they'll all just like walk towards it, and together through their collective zombified strength, they'll move that brick for you eventually.
You know what's a like pseudo zombie, like malevolent infection movie that I like?
28 Days Later?
No. Why did I forget it now?
Because it
Will
doesn't
Smith.
exist. Oh, I Am Legend.
I love that movie.
I remember I watched that when I was
The
like
endings were a big controversy. I was okay with both. The grenade one's better, obviously.
I remember. That's the thing that confused me is I can't remember which ending
I'm
is
kidding. The
the
grenade one is not better.
is the real
People will
ending.
be so mad at me.
I don't really. The alternate ending was a little too happy. I feel though, where he just
No, that wasn't the point of it. It was to show that these things are people, and you've been killing people. That was it.
of the movie. I don't remember
The
that.
end of there's two scenes, one of which is Will Smith unpins a grenade, opens the door, and then runs out as his friends escape. And the other one is Will Smith gives the gun to the girl and says, if anything happens, just get out of here. And then he opens the door and he pushes out the woman that he captured from them.
That
And
I
he
remember.
reinfects her. And then the leader, like strokes her face, and then he goes over to Will Smith and screams at her. And then Will Smith realizes, as he looks onto his pictures of all the infecteds that he's captured and accidentally killed because he's trying to cure them and they die, he's killed like 100 of them or something like that. And he's realizing that these were people that he killed that can still think in some way. And he just like releases them and then they all leave.
Yeah, they're basically at least okay. Wait, the way I remember it is that there is a human, like hot like military base hideout somewhere, and he ends up going there. That's the alternate ending I ended up watching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That happens after the woman and everybody leave.
That happens after that. Okay.
That's not important to me. That happens in both, except the only difference is Will Smith is there or not there.
Yeah. And in the book, I see this argument on Reddit a lot, so I'm really well informed, even though I haven't read the book. Is basically they're all vampires, right? And the same thing happens where you end up learning that all these vampires are actually like intelligent, like people, and Will Smith is the last like mortal man alive, and so you do run into this.
And he's impervious to the infection.
Yeah, so you like run into this weird moral conundrum where like, okay, are these people actually monsters? But then it turns out at the end of it that he's the monster, and they're all terrified of him because he's just going around killing them and stuff. And that was a really interesting way to like flip all that shit on its head. Like you flip that zombie thing completely in a new way that I don't think really anyone else has ever done since then. Because most people just do the same old boring infection story shit. But I appreciate I Am Legend for what it was trying to do. It was definitely trying to be more interesting than the fucking Walking Dead.
I love I Am Legend so much.
We haven't gotten... Every zombie movie now is about... It's like an infection zombie, right? It's a disease.
I haven't seen a zombie movie in a long time.
That's because they're going out of style. I think the last one I watched was World War Z.
I like that one.
I like that too, but everyone gave it so much shit.
I don't know why.
They're making... I mean, I think because by then zombie movies were fucking like...
I don't want it to end. Stop making a zombie movie and then having a happy ending where everything just is cleaned up. It's like, no, what? Just have a zombie movie. It doesn't have to all get wrapped up.
But we haven't had a zombie movie where the zombies are literally people that come back from the dead in a long time.
That's stupid,
right?
though.
Where they like rise out of the grave and shit.
That doesn't make any sense because you can't have just a skeleton shambling around. It doesn't have any muscle fibers to move itself. It doesn't make any sense.
I mean... That's true too, but maybe even like fresh corpses can come back. You know, that's what I would like.
That makes sense. Like some dude gets shot by a cop, and then his body's put in the morgue, and then the morgue doctor hears some rattling, and then he slowly approaches, and it opens it and gets attacked, and then it cuts to the whole city is now infected. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't want it to be like infected though. I want it to be
only people who die come back.
If you do the infection thing, it just goes into that pseudoscientific. Oh, this is the disease. This is like a health crisis thing. And
what do you mean?
Like, it's always like a science thing. Like, oh, it's this virus. It's turning people into zombies and stuff, right?
Well, you don't have to get in that far. Well, how else are you going to tackle something like that?
Just do fucking...
From a realistic perspective.
How did they do it in The Night of the Living Dead? Like the original zombie movie? Me neither. I think it's just
they don't approach that. They just do like these people out in the woods are getting attacked.
I think it's just straight up magic. But that would probably
it's like zombies from like the 1960s, like Tales from the Crypt or whatever.
Yeah, like the fucking Mummy. The Mummy is the original.
Voodoo magic has brought back the dead.
The Mummy is the original zombie.
Will Kurt Ward be able to stop them?
Will The Rock be able to stop the Mummy and Brendan Fraser?
No, The Rock would not have been in any movies in the 1960s.
But I need more magic shit, more mystical shit. Like, I like The Mummy. Like, that is cool. I want to see more of that. I don't want to see...
The Mummy with Brendan Fraser? I love those fucking movies.
Well, yeah, those movies are dope. But also, The Mummy's a dead guy who comes back because of, like, ancient mystic magic shit, right?
That, yeah.
They don't say, like, the virus in Egypt has infected the pyramids and it's bringing all the pharaohs back to life.
I need less movies set in the modern day. I'm tired of them.
Mm-hmm.
I need a movie set in like 1919 or something like that. Like with Brendan Fraser's The Mummy, they were like what 1920s or something like that. They were like really old.
Yeah,
and like then someone just asked if I could go into work today. Not gonna happen. Goodbye.
But no, I fucking love the Brendan Fraser movies and the fucking was it the Scorpion King? Is the Scorpion King a Mummy movie, or is that a separate movie?
It's like the origin story for The Rock's character, the CGI monster thing.
Yeah, that looks fucking...
And it's not bad. Like, it's actually not bad at all. It's just more like medieval fighting in the desert.
Yeah, the CGI is very bad, though. Like
in the Scorpion CGI movie, that's terrible. But his origin story movie is pretty fun.
Okay. I think we need. Oh, there are World War II zombie movies. What am I talking about? There's those weird Netflix movies.
No, those are garbage. Those are fucking terrible. Those
Yeah.
I fucking hate, like Nazi zombies or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, stop jerking off, please, for the love of God.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, you could probably tell a really cool
You gotta do
story
it
with
right,
Nazi
though.
zombies if you did it right. But it's been so, like, it's kind of a joke.
I can
at this
see
point.
it in my head now. Like, the Allies are on one side of some large, like, dreary battlefield, and people are tired. And then suddenly the gunfire stops on their side, and you hear screaming.
Yeah.
And it's just, like, subtle stuff like that. And then, like, a weather thing appears, and sort of like a mist falls over the entire thing. And then you hear, like, trembling footsteps trembling towards everybody. And then everybody has to close in, and everybody gets picked off until it's a few teams left. And then, yeah, that'd be interesting. But nobody's going to do that because that wouldn't be fun and explodey and terrible.
Or like eventually like the Allies and like the Nazis have to team up, or like a small group of them have to team up to like protect themselves from like the Nazis, right? And maybe one of them is like, oh man, you could do so much interesting character stuff with this movie. Like maybe one of them is like an African American guy, and then one of them is Jewish, and then the Nazis are all just like bad people, and they have, by the end of the movie, they come to learn their lesson that, oh, you know, humans are humans. And then the one guy who's just like overtly racist all the time gets eaten by zombies, and everyone wins. But the other way you could go with that is if you have, you know, Nazis did scientific experiments and shit all the time, right? You could just you just have them like reanimate dead corpses, like some fucking Dr. Lichtenstein.
The new World War II zombies thing. That was like some doctor was trying to reanimate monsters, and then it all went awry.
Yeah, that's pretty much the gist of Call of Duty zombies, I think.
Do you remember in the first season of The Walking Dead, or maybe the second season, I don't know, when Merle comes into the picture and he says the N-word like a bunch, and he calls like the Asian dude some fucking racial thing, and then Rick says back to him the same word, and he goes like, "There are no more blanks. We're just people now." And I'm like, this is a ballsy show. What are they doing? What the fuck? And they don't do that anymore. They don't do that at all.
I don't even know if that would fly today, honestly.
No. And it used to be so experimental and weird. It was just like, zombie show.
Yeah.
But now it's fucking like,
you know what's fucking weird to think about?
Show.
The guy who plays Merle is Yondu or whatever.
Yeah. That movie was so good.
Yeah. So like that dynamic between Daryl and his brother was always,
I enjoyed that.
Cool, right? Like one of them was trying to be good, and the other one was just always
like a
kind
biker
of a piece
asshole.
Of shit. Yeah, exactly. But then they killed Earl off or something.
Merle.
They like pretended to kill him off a bunch of times. Like one time he just loses his hand, and then he's
the
gone
first
for a
time it was
season.
fun because they left him in the city, and then Daryl's like, "I'm going to get it back," and then everybody was like, "All right, we'll go with you." And then he go back to the top of the building where Rick handcuffed him, and he sawed his own arm off with like a hacksaw, and then climbed down into a building that had a hot plate in it, and then cauterized the entire thing.
Yeah,
it's just like that's awesome. He might be out there somewhere, like. But then it fucking went all downhill. First season's great. I really like that show in there.
Do you think you could do that?
Do what? Cut my hand off and then cauterize the wound?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it may vary between people, but there's a certain amount of pain that you can go through will just shut your brain off.
Yeah.
So you'll fall asleep. And then you'll bleed out halfway through cutting through your arm.
Yeah. That's what I'm afraid like would happen. Like, it's that weird fucking tough decision. It's like, what's that James Franco rock? He's stuck in a rock movie. 127 hours or something.
Like
yeah, that happened in real life, and I remember watching some Dateline documentary on it.
With a knife, with a pocket knife.
Dude fucking is there for so long.
How did he stop the bleeding?
I don't know that he did. I don't remember. But I just remember he fucking was like nibbling on a frozen burrito he brought with him or something, and that's how he stayed alive. And then he just cut his fucking arm off with some shitty dull knife he brought with him. Like, that's fucking insane.
The bone in your arm alone.
God.
Did he have it through, like, one of the joints? I don't remember how it happened.
I don't know. But, like, can you imagine, like, finally cutting yourself free?
It would take me about 127 hours.
Yeah. And then just looking at your arm that's stuck between a rock, and you're like, that's my fucking arm that I just cut off. Like, that's ridiculous.
It makes me think about. I've been watching a lot of videos. I like watching videos about Game of Thrones characters and like how they stack up in terms of like if they're given like numeral, things for defining like, oh, they've got this much strength, this much dexterity, this much wisdom or whatever. Mm-hmm. So they make it much easier to see who would win in a fight.
Yeah.
And I always saw that Ned Stark was on the same level as Jaime because when they first fought in the first season, before he got stabbed in the knee. That he held his own, and he was like, you could see like when they finally broke away from each other in that last like grapple, he had a bit of a smile on his face, and I was like, he could fucking take him. And then he got a knee taken away, and then they talked about in this video that I watched that him in the books is average at best. He's like not the greatest fighter in the world.
He's
one of the most. No, not Jaime. Ned Stark.
Oh yeah.
He was more of a soldier. Like he could take down a horse that was coming at him, like deleg it, and then watch the soldier fly over and fall and die and snap his neck. Like he's good at warfare, but when it comes to hand-to-hand combat, he's above average, if that. Like he's no Jaime Lannister, and that always bothered me. To like when I watched it was just like, what? No, Ned Stark, no. Yeah. And then they talked about how Jaime Lannister lost his hand, and he went from like a 9 dexterity, 9 competence for swordsmanship to like a 2 and a 3, and I was just like, fucking what?
I mean, this is why we need a good Game of Thrones RPG to play something like this. They did. That's
pretty much The Witcher. If you want a good Game of Thrones RPG, play The Witcher 3.
They did make a Game of Thrones RPG for the Xbox 360 and PS3.
It was
garbage. But no, I don't remember that much about Ned Stark from the books, also because I read them a long ass time ago.
He's not in that much.
Yeah, because he just fucking, spoiler alert, dies at the end of the first book.
Pretty quick, yeah.
Yeah, and then like no one ever. He was never really in a combat situation. He was besides the one with Jaime.
He was
in
wars and stuff, but we don't get to read about that.
Yeah, exactly. Like we just know that he was at war with, fucking King Rob, not King Rob, fucking. I don't remember the first
Aegar.
King. Not Aegar, his fucking buddy, his fat
Rhaegar?
friend. No, Ned's fat friend.
Oh, Robert.
Yeah, King Robert. Oh, so I was right. Okay, yeah. Robert Baratheon.
I thought you said who you were fighting against, and I was like, he wasn't fighting against Robert.
No, he was fighting with him. So they were kind of like side by side, and he was definitely like.
And they did that too. They matched up the two of them, and Rob takes it 8 times out of 10. It's like ridiculous how fucking bad he beats him in like every simulated scenario that they could come up with. Like even giving him an edge of like 6 points more in each category. Rob they were both doing them at their prime, which was when they were like 23 or something, when they were still in the wars. Yeah. And Robert had like a 10 strength and a 10 for like just it was the stamina. And his dexterity was obviously pretty low, but if he hit him once, he was down because he got that warhammer. And I was just like, Ned Stark gets killed in every scenario. And they're talking about how Jon Snow is like, when he gets to be in his prime, he's probably going to be about as good as Jaime Lannister. Like he's that talented. Okay. And it's just crazy to think about. Like Ned Stark sucked, but he made a son. Technically, not really made a son, but he raised a son who's going to be better than Jaime Lannister.
Yeah, I mean. If we're talking genetically, that makes perfect sense because his dad is a very talented fucking Targaryen fighter, and his mother is fine. She's just
I love Rhaegar. I miss him so much. When the Brandon the Bold, what's his name? The guy who went over to the sea to see Daenerys?
Oh, Jorah Mormont?
No, his older friend.
Oh, the knights, the guy who was a knight.
Barristan the Bold.
Barristan, yeah.
Who was like famed as one of the best swordsmen in the entire kingdom. When Danny asks him about Rhaegar, he asks her what she knows about Rhaegar. And then Danny said, Varys told me that whatever her sister, her brother's name was.
Viserys.
Viserys said he was good at killing people. And Barristan said he didn't like killing people. He liked to sing. And I was just like, who is this person that we never got to meet who sounds awesome? He sounds like a guy who'd be good with a sword, but he wouldn't want to use it because he'd be too busy like lulling a baby to sleep while petting a dog. Like, this sounds awesome.
What was Jorah's line? It was like, Rhaegar fought boldly, Rhaegar fought courageously, Rhaegar died or something like that. Yeah. And I was like, damn.
If anybody could kill Robert in his prime, I'm thinking about someone like the Red Viper, just someone who's super quick and nimble and has got poison on their side.
Yeah, probably just one of the Sand Snakes, realistically. Just take a few of them to dance around, and he'd probably get distracted anyways and fucking
probably
die.
Call him like, "You're a piss," or something like that.
God, I can't wait for that show to come back. Too bad it's not happening.
I'm not excited at all.
You're not?
Last season was pretty fucking bad in terms of Game of Thrones.
I didn't think it was bad. I thought there were definitely just some questionable.
Not Game of Thrones. It wasn't Game of Thrones, and there was teleporting around into different places, and there was fast travel. It was just so stupid.
Yeah.
And the weird decisions they made.
Yeah, there were some in-universe inconsistencies that I'm haven't settled with. But I liked the way the plot was going, at least. I like the idea of Dany coming to save Jon and the gang from beyond the wall with the dragon. That makes sense. She has a dragon. That makes sense. That's fine. That's cool.
Jon Snow teleporting everywhere from Dragonstone to the north to the Iron Banker, around to the Bear Island. Just everything is fucking terrible.
Yeah, and I get that they need to speed things up because they have less episodes. But I don't know. I thought they would do more with less. Every episode would be on all the time.
It was visually and everything spectacular. It was great to look at. The dragon raid on the
caravan
loot train or whatever. Mm-hmm. That was great. It was beautiful. But
yeah, I didn't realize how important those down moments were. Really, you need time to pass. It can't be on
all the time.
Yeah, you need time to pass for characters to go places, for characters to hash things out,
to talk about stuff. I love to hear them talk about stuff, just the offhanded comments. Hearing Bronn say anything is always my favorite part. Bronn's my favorite fucking character. Do you think Bronn would win in a fight against Ned Stark?
Honestly, probably. Yeah.
Do you think he'd win against the Mountain?
No.
The new Mountain, the one that's like a monster.
I don't think so. I think Bronn's I think he's getting kind of old at this point.
I was watching that episode where Tyrion gets visited by Bronn after he's captured for supposedly killing Joffrey, and Bronn's just like, so let's say I do fight him, and I find some way to get him off his feet. I dodge, I move around as fast as I can. If I make one mistake, then I'm dead. Yeah. And then Tyrion's just like, well, you're my friend. You're supposed to help me. And then and he says, yeah, I'm your friend, but when's the last time you ever risked your life for me? And I was just like, oh man, this is Game of Thrones. And now they talk about I was like, let's blow up the fucking wall. Let's go teleport around and blow shit up.
Not to mention Arya's whole storyline and
God, that was so
stupid.
An assassin. They thought they were being clever. What's gonna happen next? But we were just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and then her getting stabbed, and this is not last season. This is season before, I think. But then her getting stabbed in the gut, and then falling into a river that's dirty and fucking disgusting, and she somehow isn't dead and or
but her
infected
actor
terribly.
Friend gave her milk of the poppy, so she's all healed.
Who the fucking knows? But yeah. There's a lot of just logical inconsistencies that are the show's just.
I was
totally
okay
ignoring.
with season 6. I liked it a lot. I liked pretty much every season up to season 7. Season 7 is awesomely bad.
I enjoyed season 7 overall. There were just some weird. It seemed like they were going too fast. It felt like
somebody should have died. Some people should have died.
Yeah, it felt like a friend telling you an awesome story, but they were skipping over some pretty important
and
details.
There was no stakes.
Yeah, I mean.
Jon should have died. Somebody
they can't kill Jon because
I know they
can't
kill Jon, but if you're gonna put him in that situation, he has to die. This is Game of Thrones. You can't just get beat the shit out of, thrown in negative 60-degree water, and then climb out wearing full armor and just get out of there on a horse that your magical uncle appeared to give you. That's stupid. What?
Yeah.
You're killing characters that no one cares about or has thought about for 80 years. You're killing the old lady Tyrell. You're killing Uncle Benjen. Who else died that nobody cares about?
I don't remember. Cersei's still around. Jaime.
No, you would remember if you cared about the characters.
Yeah.
But they all died for no reason, or no one cared about them. Bronn should have died in the loot train thing. Jamie definitely does not deserve to be alive after many things, like running full tilt on a horse at a dragon and then getting thrown off of his horse into a river wearing full plate armor, just like sinking right to the bottom. You're dead. That's where you die, Jamie Lannister. Bronn should be dead for many reasons. That Dothraki Screamer should have killed the shit out of him.
I think I'm fine with Jamie living. I'm fine with most of these characters staying alive, but they keep putting them in death-defying situations that are just increasingly ridiculous.
That's not, like, my complaint isn't that Bronn isn't dead. It's that they put him in a situation where he should be dead, and he didn't die. You can't do that. This is Game of Thrones. Things matter. Stakes exist. Like, that's the reason we love this so much, is because it's like it feels like we're watching people do things, and in real life people die. And this just doesn't happen in that season. Like, there's no stakes.
No, exactly. I agree 100%. It kind of loses its luster. And especially, they're in the end game now. They really should not be afraid of killing people off.
Yeah.
I mean, some characters I can definitely see what directions they want to go with them, just to, like, give them that arc that they have in mind. Like, Jaime and Cersei, they're going to have to, like... Well, no, at the end of the season, actually, Jaime ends up leaving King's Landing. Yeah. I thought Jaime was going to kill Cersei this whole time. Well, maybe he will. That remains to be seen. Maybe he'll fucking teleport back to King's Landing and just show up one day. But
there's so many fan servicey fucking moments. Like when they just like, the Brotherhood Without Banners meets up with the Hound, and they meet up with fucking Jorah Mormont and the fucking what's his face. Like just like, here, let's send our A team out there, and that's like something that people have joked about. Like, I want to see this matchup, and it's exactly the same thing. And you're just like, this doesn't feel like it would happen. What do you?
And they're definitely building up to like the Mountain versus
Clegane Bowl. I don't fucking care about that. Just have Brienne of Tarth kill him.
Yeah, I mean,
have something unexpected for once.
That's true. God, I wonder where they're gonna go with. I don't know. I hope they handle the characters well this season, and they go in different directions. Like Clegane Bowl is pretty predictable, like you said. I hope that just fucking people do some things differently. Like, I hope they just pull the rug out from under people and, like, somehow Daenerys ends up dying for real. And, I mean, Jon's, like, kind of the obvious person to end up winning at the end of all this. But it would be crazy if they just fucking straight up killed Jon and Dany and all this was for nothing. But then at the same time, like, that's super unsatisfying. Then how does the story end? Just, like, nothing? Everyone just
big CGI fire explosion.
Maybe. Do you think it would be a good ending if they had the White Walkers winning in the end?
What does that even mean?
Like,
of course they're not gonna fucking win.
Everyone dies and everyone becomes like a frost zombie, basically.
That would be so stupid.
Yeah. So it's either like, but wouldn't it also be kind of stupid and predictable if Jon and Dany end up on the throne together, happily ever after?
Who else is gonna win?
I mean, I think it's either that or the other thing. Like, Cersei could technically win, but I don't think that
her kid could win.
She doesn't. She said she's pregnant, but that kid's gonna be a fucking newborn, So, who's to say what's gonna happen there? But I think primarily what I'd like to see handled best is the relationship between Arya and Sansa, which was totally fucking weird last season. Do you remember how they were like they ended up tricking Littlefinger, and that was cool, but it made no sense.
They made it seem like, we pulled the rug out from under you, this guys.
Yeah, but
it wasn't an interesting twist. It was just like, this makes no sense, and I do not think this is real. And then it happened to be not real, and you're like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, like, if you watch the season back, like, all the events, like, it just doesn't make sense again. How, like, they, 1, got the jump on him, 2, didn't actually hate each other. It was just, like, a lot of, like, big, again, logical jumps that needed to be made, and I was not really having it, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, anyways. Everyone's fucking talking about this and has their own stupid artistic interpretation, but what do you think about Childish Gambino's new music video?
I liked it.
I liked it a lot too. It was. So I guess I should preface this by saying I liked Awaken My Love, his last album or whatever. You know, those more funky. Yeah. It was interesting, but it wasn't my favorite. I like Childish Gambino more as like a rapper and doing hip hop stuff. So he comes out with this song, and it's kind of a return to that, but it's a lot more artistic than normal, right? Like, and I think you have to watch the music video to get the full experience. Normally, music videos kind of fuck up songs for me, but this one definitely completes it. So my take is that it's talking about how our culture is constantly just inundated with, oh, look at this thing, let's just be entertained and enjoy pop culture and all this shit. And then there's like tons of violence. And then we're like sad about it for like a hot second. And then we just go back to like dancing and shit, and nothing matters and nothing ever changes. Right?
Is there more than one interpretation of this? Definitely.
I think honestly you could say a million things about it, and most of them would probably be true.
Well, really, the first one that you just said is what I thought, and it's pretty simple. So
yeah, that's definitely the most simple interpretation of the song. But I think that like,
I like that keeping a bag over someone's head, keeping them blind like a sheep,
exactly,
and then killing them anyway. Like, that's a very like imperial, like overreaching government sort of like dictatorship thing. Yeah, which I think was the whole idea of just like you said, like we just want to really quickly just have something just to entertain us, so we can stop thinking about all the people getting killed and blown up, and then somebody walks in and blows up a church or something like that, and then Childish Gambino shoots someone in the head, and then you're back to more like, this is America. Yeah, stop pretending that this isn't what it's always been.
Yeah, and that's interesting. This song coming out, especially after all the Kanye shit, right?
Oh, somebody tweeted something really funny about that. They said
it was Boogie. Boogie was like, Donald Glover is the genius that Kanye thinks he is.
No, that's not at all. I think I'm thinking about something different. Oh, somebody said something very similar though. They said like
there were a few different variations of that.
Kanye Childish is doing what Kanye thinks he's doing. Something simple like that.
Yeah, it's basically the same thing. And like, I saw some people saying, you shouldn't compare them. You shouldn't have to put down one other artist to.
It's not putting down. It's comparing two things that you like. Like, you can't compare movies or something. They're just media that you're consuming.
Yeah. But I would definitely agree that Kanye is definitely like very talented. Yeah. But I think Donald Glover is kind of like the new blood.
He's so cool.
Like he's bringing in the new ideas and quote unquote free thinking that Kanye is always fucking yelling about.
I hope Solo doesn't suck.
Yeah, we'll see. Actually, the premiere is today, so we'll
You want to go see it?
Sure. Well, no,
are you in Virginia?
Yes.
Then let's go see it.
I already told you that I'm in Virginia.
Can we go see it?
It doesn't come out today.
Oh.
It premieres at a film festival today for critics and stuff.
Stupid.
It comes out for us in like 2 weeks. Then we'll go see it.
Are you going to be here in 2 weeks?
Yes, I'm going to be here for the next 4 months.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So look out for some new content from us on YouTube, especially.
I might record something.
Especially since we just passed. We got this fucking like really annoying email.
God, I hated how they phrased it. I know YouTube, like, there are people there who work day and night to make creators feel better, and then they're the cunts who walk in and it's like, take all their money away and slap them in the butt. Like these people phrase it so condescendingly.
They didn't need to be like annoying.
They were so memey about it.
Here's the subject line. It's like, stop what you're doing. You just hit 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, and like a bunch of fucking emojis. I'm like, are you a professional company or something?
Are you 10-year-old?
Are you 10?
I thought it was a fan mail thing that we got. That someone just pointed out to us that we got 10,000 subscribers when I first read it without the subject line. I was like, what the fuck?
No, this is from a real company.
From an executive company.
And then it says, Prude dudes, OMG. No, really, OMG. Your channel just crossed 10,000 subscribers, all caps. That's not just something you should be proud of. It's something you should do cartwheels over, scream over, laugh over, even cry over, because this is amazing.
I think I'm good, but you know what?
Now go take this GIF and share it with the world. It's just, and we're not even like what partners anymore. Like they
took away
our partnership like a few months ago.
They're giving us this.
So fuck you too.
We need like 80 million views concurrently over a year or something in order to get it back. I don't fucking care.
Exactly. So who gives a shit? Like,
why do that? Why phrase it so stupidly? Why not just say something, conservative? Say like, hey, congratulations, your channel reached 10,000 subscribers. We hope that you continue to make more awesome content. Something like that.
Yeah.
Except they said it like,
how many subscribers do you need to get one of those play buttons?
I don't fucking know. I don't want one.
I'll take it. I'll put it on my fucking LinkedIn. You
definitely need 100,000 for like one of them. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think that's like the lower tier one.
And then it's 200,000 or 500,000 for the next one, and then 1 million for the gold.
Yeah. So who the fuck knows? We'll keep making. I do feel bad though when I go to the YouTube channel and it's all just podcast episodes.
Yeah,
like you have to go back pretty far. Else. Yeah, but now that we're all together, we'll all diddle each other and we'll film it and we'll put it on YouTube and people will get their rocks off and it'll be hot. That's what I'm looking forward to.
I'm so tired. You ever get so tired that you just you almost feel like you're drunk, like everything's blurred and
for sure.
Yeah.
I feel like I've been in situations where I'm so tired that, and I never fall asleep until I'm like in my bed. I can't fall asleep standing up or sitting up.
Really?
Sorry. Yeah. But
what?
No, I can't at all. Like I can't fall asleep on planes. And
in
I can't
chair?
No, not
what
at all.
What if you wait?
Never.
You've never fallen asleep on a desk?
Never.
What?
Nope.
Dude.
No, never.
Wait, no. Changing the subject on desks. There was this thing I used to do in high school when I slept on desks. I used to sleep through prob stat, and my teacher fucking hated me for good reason because I was annoying and I didn't do my work. But there was the first class I would go in, and I would sit down, I'd put in my earbuds, and I would wait for the class to start. And then after everybody started doing their work, I would put my head down onto my forearm, like a pillow, and I would sleep for like, I don't know how long, like 5 minutes or something like that. And then I would jolt awake, like my body would like just spike for no reason, and then my head would shoot up, and I would look around because I assumed that people would have just seen that crazy thing that I just did, and no one would be looking at me. And I did this like every 15 minutes in class. It was like constant that this happened. No one ever noticed though. I was expecting someone to be like, Patrick, fucking stop it. We know that you're doing that, but nobody ever pointed it out. I feel like I dreamed it up that it didn't happen.
I think to you it feels like this huge thing, like but like in reality, if you look at like someone else doing it, or if you watch a video of someone else waking up like that, it just looks like they put their head up really fast, right?
It was like every muscle in my body would just jolt, and then my head would shoot up. And sometimes I would kick my desk too, and like it would move away from me. And those things make fucking huge noises when they move.
So unless you make like a huge fucking noise, I don't think anyone really gives a shit, right? Unless you're like fucking screaming like the last word of your dream, saying
I wouldn't make any mouth noises. It was just like weird muscle spasms.
Yeah, so you're fine. But I wouldn't know because I've never fallen asleep at a desk or in a chair or in any other position besides lying down.
Sometimes I want to just fall asleep, like genuinely sleep for a long time somewhere that isn't my bed. Like I'll be over at someone's house and then I'll spend the night there doing stuff, and then they'll be like, you can just sleep here, and I don't want to because I feel like I'm going to get robbed. Even though I've known the person for however many months or years or something and I trust them completely, I don't want to leave myself exposed to whatever would happen. I don't know why.
No, I can kind of get that. When people ask me to sleep over, it's a balance of me thinking, okay, how long would it take to get home? Am I in a condition to drive home? And like how uncomfortable would I be sleeping over at this person's house, right? Because if it's going to be me fitting onto some like tiny ass couch, I'm like, I'm good. Like I will try to get home no matter what. But if it's like I'm at my other friend's house and there's like a guest bedroom and I'm way too tired or otherwise cannot drive for reasons, like then I'll fucking sleep over. I'll sleep in. I'll make a fucking grand day of it. But it's really a case by case basis. The other awkward thing is, and I guess this wasn't the case in high school more than now, but when you have to deal with like that person's parents also being like in the house, so weird. Like waking up, going downstairs, like hoping to find your friend, but they haven't woken up yet. Instead, it's just like their fucking family, and you're just like,
Would you do that at your girlfriend's house?
I've slept over at Kalina's only like a handful of times.
I can't imagine doing that.
There, it's okay actually because I know her family really well. That's fine. But if it was like, let's say some kid is throwing a party at his house, right, while his parents are gone, and then I sleep over, they come back in the morning, and I come down and I'm like, hello, I barely know the person who lives here, and I definitely don't know you guys, so I'm just gonna bounce. Like I've done that where I just like sneak out of the house in the morning before everyone wakes up.
I'm completely derail us, but can we talk about the dress thing?
Oh, fuck, sure.
Do you have a source of the thing so we can?
So, yes, I think people know what we're talking about.
Some girl who's a white girl wore a traditional dress that had nothing to do with her culture to prom, and everyone died.
Yeah. So she this girl, right? She's wearing this Chinese traditional dress that she saw at a store and she really liked. Or I don't know, she said she got it with the blessing of some Chinese person or something. And then she posts pictures of, her and her friends at prom and whatever. And then this fucking guy, I don't even remember his name, this Asian guy is just like, my culture is not your goddamn prom dress. And his tweet goes viral, yada yada.
It was a Chinese dress, right?
Yeah, it was a Chinese dress. And
then people doxed this guy.
Yeah, and then people go through this guy's history.
They found out he used the tweet, like the N-word and stuff, and a bunch of weird, mildly racist stuff. And then he literally replied to somebody and said like, yeah, I used to be a different person. It's like, you should be able to make mistakes and then live up to the mistakes.
But you're not letting other people. But then he's just a huge fucking hypocrite, because if he really believes that, then he would give this girl the benefit of the doubt.
It's the same.
Not that she even needs it, but he would be like, hey, let me explain to you why maybe this isn't cool from my point of view or whatever, right? He's not doing that. He's just yelling at her. He's just trying to dunk on her on Twitter.
I'm sure this girl just thought like, hey, this is a pretty dress. I guess it's a little absent-minded not to consider where the dress came from or what the implications might be of wearing it. Yeah, okay, maybe she's ignorant a little bit.
Yeah.
She's a fucking prom high schooler who's just wearing a dress she thought was pretty. At surface level, that's pretty much all there is. She wasn't like, oh, you know what, actually? I think she was posing in like this weird like that kind of way.
Like her friends were doing the vape nation thing, and then she was doing the like hands together thing. Both of those are H3H3 memes.
Oh, thank God. I was worried
and even the hands together thing is like not imitating Asian people. Like it is. It's like
it is a lot.
No.
Yes, it is.
No, other people at prom do. It's a sorority squad thing.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
Well, it also is used to imitate like a bow.
I mean, it is, but in this, it is. But like,
I'm just playing the advocate of someone who could totally see that as, hey, what the fuck is going on here? You know?
But like in this context, it's definitely not what they're doing at all.
It's the worst thing you could possibly have been doing. Like it's. Like,
but it's not what she was going for at all.
It's a weird coincidence, is what I'll say. It's like, oh, you happen to be wearing a Chinese dress and doing that specific thing. Is that not a little weird?
No, but like because her other.
I'm not saying she's a fucking racist. I'm just saying there are sprinklings of weirdness.
No, I know you think it's a coincidence, but I'm just trying to argue that it's not a coincidence. She's doing something completely different. Her friends were doing the vape nation H3H3 meme, and then her and her girlfriends. Other people that were not wearing Chinese dresses were also doing the squatting hands together thing, which is also another meme from them.
I'm just saying, just a little bit of weirdness there.
Sure,
and I mean, totally understand how someone saw, hey, A, Chinese dress, and she's a white girl, and B, she's doing this weird pseudo bow thing that you see in racist portrayals of those characters all the time, and I can totally see how someone was like, what the fuck is this person doing? And get mad. Yeah, I totally understand that. But you don't have to come for her fucking neck. She didn't like paint a picture of a Chinese person getting stabbed and go like, this is the best thing ever. I want this to happen.
Yeah,
she just
exactly.
wore a dress.
And like, it's really just a pick your battles thing, honestly.
Oh,
like
just that guy, like you said, he had used to say some stupid things, and then he said, "Oh, I hope I can be forgiven by saying sorry." And it's the thing that I point out before one of the other casts. I said like, my favorite thing is people who walk stridently into rooms and say things without considering for a moment anything they've said previously that will make them look like an asshole. They do it all the time.
Especially online,
so
like
much.
You can always just dig up people's shit and just be like,
he didn't even walk into this room. He fucking kicked the door down and like dove head first into it. So
my culture is not your goddamn prom dress.
Anyone who has ever done anything like this is a fucking monster. And then like he's got 87 examples of how he's done that exact thing. It's fucking amazing. It's always stupid, dumb idiots.
Learn how to pick your battles, people. That's what I think that's the lesson from this situation. There's more egregious examples of cultural appropriation that we should call out, but like
there was that fucking
like this girl is just like she's happy with her friends.
Wasn't there a piece of cereal that was racist?
Yeah, we talked about that.
That's one of my favorite podcasts.
That was funny as fuck.
I love that one.
So okay,
like this goes into that drawer of just like let's shut up.
So like my final thoughts on this are, this isn't as bad as like a white girl wearing like Navajo Indian stuff. To, like,
that
Coachella,
would be stupid,
right? That's fucking awful. The difference being that this girl going to prom, she admired the beauty of this dress. She thought it was incredible.
Is there a difference?
She wore it because she genuinely loved it. Yeah, there's a difference.
How would you be able to say? Do you think people would believe her that she wore a Navajo garb? And say, "Oh, I just thought it was pretty." Could you go with that?
Yes,
would that be different?
The thing is, you could say that, but there's
it
also
would be harder to swallow. I think.
It's harder to swallow because there's a much larger historical precedent for one, like us wiping out Native Americans, right? And that's definitely bad. Not to say that we've never treated Chinese people poorly. We definitely have. Chinese Exclusion Act and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I don't know why. This one just feels, it's this like girl going to prom. She thought this dress was pretty. She's a teenager. Like, if it was like a full grown person, maybe it'd be worse.
If this
is
like,
I'm trying to draw the lines.
I'm sure someone's gonna be fucking like, "Oh, you're just defending a fellow white person." It's like, I don't feel any brotherhood with other pale people. I hate most people. I don't know this person. I'm just making a few comments on the fact that I don't think you should cut her head off because she wore a dress she thought was pretty. It's a pretty dress. It's this red velvety color with gold inlay and stuff. It's like, hey, this is a pretty dress. Just wear the dress.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't know where to draw the line in the sand, but I just know that I feel that one example, like wearing
if she had
Native American garb, is a lot more egregious.
I'm not sure. Are you sure that the only reason she did that thing was because it was H3H3?
Yes. I think you're hung up on that. I definitely don't think her posing for that photo is racist at all. People pose for prom photos at all. I'm not saying it's
racist. I'm just saying it's
I don't think she's
weird.
In her head, she is not doing that pose. She's not trying to imitate an Asian stereotype. Like, I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt here. It's definitely not that.
Okay.
But anyways, I'm curious to hear what other people think about this situation.
If you think we're big stupid idiots for giving her a pass, then absolutely tell us we're big stupid idiots.
And especially talk about
any kind of Middle Eastern.
I'd like to know, like, and there's like a lot of historical and contextual discussion that goes into this kind of stuff. So feel free to send us a very lengthy email.
They had some description of what that dress specifically, what it entailed.
Yeah, there was some thread that went into the history of it, and I thought that
started out as like a copy of some kind of dress that went on in San Francisco or something like that, and then it was transferred back to the mainland, and it was like some mix of something that was like a clashing of two kinds of dresses.
Yeah,
something like that.
So I don't know 100% where to draw the line on cultural appropriation.
I don't think you're allowed to, you white fuck.
Yeah, well, at least I'm white Hispanic, so I have some say on Hispanic things.
Over the phone, you're just Alex Pena.
Yeah. So all I know is I feel that this girl is not like something to like get super mad about. Like, I think it's a little dumb to be dunking on her like that.
You can be mad about it. You're allowed to say and do whatever you want. We're not infringing on
your First Amendment. Illegal.
My First Amendment.
Freedom of thought.
My freedom of speech.
But no, let us know what you think, because we're just a couple idiots who maybe don't know what they're talking about. So, and I'm sure there's
If
a
it's
lot
a dress
of
that's like
people.
they created it and intentionally, it's the dress of don't wear this if you're white, then absolutely bring that up. I don't know that that's true. I'm pretty sure they just said it was a dress, but
Yeah,
maybe
like,
it is.
I think I saw this really funny tweet that was like, immigrant generation. Wow, I'm so glad all these people are like appreciating my culture. And then like firstborn generation, die, you cultural appropriating colonist
They
scum.
just sort of do what they think is sort of woke.
Yeah, right.
It's the competition to be the most woke. I know that sounds like a really old conservative guy. It's like, everybody's just trying to be woke, but that's kind of what it is. Sometimes.
Yeah, like there's a
not
little
all
bit of
things are that way, but sometimes
like not everything is like woke wars, but some things are a little bit like people are getting out of hand and trying to out woke each other.
Like overwhelmingly, Chinese people were posting on every fucking forum I've seen about this. Like the Reddit thread about it, Twitter, everything. Like they were just saying, like, I don't give a fuck. What are you talking about? It's a dress.
A lot of other prominent Asian people on like social media, I guess, were just like, is anyone else not offended by this? And like, yeah,
is this what we're doing now, guys?
I'm gonna listen to them and like take them for their word, say that this
and
is not a
ignore
big
everyone
deal.
who says it's bad.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move away from that because we might say something stupid.
We already did.
Oh well.
We're a couple of racists.
Here's an email from Hannah. Loki's not actually dead. Oh wait, God. Spoilers for Infinity War. Well, if you should have seen it by now. Too bad. Hear me out.
That's bad, Pena. I know people who haven't seen it yet.
Well, who cares? I'm sorry. Loki is the god of mischief. Like he did with his dagger and made it appear out of nowhere when he tried to kill Thanos. He could have been playing dead. Why didn't he change into his true form? It was stated before that Loki uses magic to make his appearance seem more Asgardian than his frost giant ancestry. So when he passed, why didn't he change form? That's a good question, actually. I thought the same thing.
I think it was because he's dead.
Maybe, do you think he gets like frozen in that form? Maybe? Kind of like how if you die with your eyes open, your eyes stay open. And they don't
I
close
always
automatically?
thought that when Odin found his baby self on his Loki's baby body on Jotunheim, where he was the little baby frost giant, he used his all god powers to make him look like a regular Asgardian. So it's not going to wear off. And it does, like he does when he gets mad. I think there was one clip in one of the movies where he got really mad and his skin turned sort of like bluish, like frosty.
Yeah, that was Thor 2, right?
Yeah, something like that. And
Yeah. Also, Loki faked his death to fuel Thor's rage because he was all Thor had left, and that was the last bit of strength from revenge that Thor needed to try to defeat Thanos.
Well, he would have wanted to anyway, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Because he was going for Earth.
Couldn't it also have been one of Loki's clones? I didn't know Loki had clones.
What? What?
I didn't know Loki had... Well, do you mean like... He's
like
done like
shadow
apparitions
clone
and
things?
stuff. He's done like apparitions and like... He's done like the shadow clone jutsu before.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he did that in like Avengers. I'm pretty sure. And he did it in Thor Ragnarok too. Yeah, I remember. Also, I don't know if y'all noticed this, but earlier in the movie, Rocket and Thor were talking about how Thor doesn't have anyone anymore because everyone he ever loved is dead. When everyone started to basically fade away to Dryerland, the Guardians of the Galaxy crew faded except for Rocket. Rocket's now in the same position as Thor. He lost everyone he loved. The saddest part of the whole movie was that since Bucky turned into Dryerland, Rocket can't get his arm because it disappeared like my will to live after watching the movie.
See, we brought that up, why it would have been funny how Soldier's arm just dropped like a clunk.
It probably should have. Did his gun drop? Did you remember?
Was it you or Yammin who said like it would be fun if you lent Star-Lord your favorite jacket that day?
That was me, yeah. But do you remember if the gun Bucky was carrying dropped, or did it also disappear?
I don't think it dropped. I'm pretty sure it just disappeared.
Yeah. So it's like, I guess everything you were touching, which is some bullshit.
I would have just grabbed Thanos.
Yeah.
You're coming with me.
Literally. If people knew how that worked, if it actually worked like that, I definitely
We literally just
like,
spoiled the
you.
entire movie, by the way.
It's been 3 weeks. Like, I think we're
okay.
Good. We're good.
I'm sorry, guys.
Especially, well, I mean, the last episode was entirely spoilers, so we're fine.
Yeah, but we tagged that one.
That's true. I kind of whatever. We're fine. Moving on. This is from Lee. Hey guys, new to the podcast, but I heard Patrick talk about wanting the Russo brothers to bite the bullet and make Cap and Bucky a thing.
Yes.
As well as Deadpool potentially hitting on Spider-Man if they cross over. I just wanted to ask about what you guys think will happen in the future, LGBTQ plus rep-wise. Do you think Marvel or DC will be the first to have a solo gay superhero movie? And what character would you want to see be featured in the MCU/DCU? Thanks. Really hope you guys answer this. I think it's topical, and I know a lot of people in the community, including myself, would like to see it happen. You guys are awesome. Lee. Thank you, Lee. I think one of the Marvel kind of just did this, but it was a total cop-out, and I saw a bunch of people get mad about it, actually, was 2 Black Panther characters, like literally background characters. They were like, oh, yeah, you see these 2?
Oh, God.
Yeah, they're gay. They're lesbians. Yeah. Because in the comics, they are. And then I think, I don't know who said it. It was Kevin Feige or Ryan Coogler. Was just like, yeah, they are, they're gay people. So you see, we're inclusive, but they didn't actually include them in the movie.
You can make
really
any character any sexual orientation. It shouldn't be like, now look at them with their gayness. That would be insulting in every way. Just make it so like, oh, they happen to be gay. They're also a superhero. That's what it is. That's all it is. It's who you like to, doodle. That's it.
It has to be a matter-of-fact thing. Like, it's just like,
now look upon us.
Yeah.
Let's everybody stare at this person as they just live their regular life.
It just has to, like...
Representation does not mean fucking, like exacerbatingly, like, staring right at them.
Yeah, like, oh, the gays. Let's hear it up for these gay characters, guys. But it's just like
it's so embarrassing.
They're part of the universe. They exist as they are, and that's that, right? Like, that's good. That's how you properly integrate those types of characters, I think, in my opinion. And like, obviously outside of the film, like, we'll know, like, hey, that's important. That's how you handle it. Props.
Like, you recently came out to your parents, and then you was like, hey, let's go see the new whatever Captain Marvel movie. And then they have a scene where Captain Marvel, like, gets married, and they both look to camera, and then like all your parents are looking at you, like, hey, there's somebody for you. It's like, what? That's so, like, weird. I don't want that. I just want someone to have the same traits as me and then regularly live their life. That's how everything works. But you have it so weird.
I think they could pretty easily make Captain Marvel gay.
They can make anybody gay.
Yeah. Is Captain Marvel gay in the comics? I think she like married some dude, didn't she?
Could be.
I think
Marvel.
Just
You're talking about Captain Marvel.
Yeah, I don't remember. I just watched some YouTube videos about it. But really, you could just be like, oh yeah, she's like half human, half incredible alien, so the distinction between being heterosexual and homosexual doesn't matter as fuck to her.
People complaining like, oh, this SJW nonsense is that they're forcing everything in these movies. Like, does it really ruin your idea of a character so much when one of their traits is changed?
Dude,
why do you care?
People already got mad about Black Panther, even though everyone in that movie.
Why there's so many black people?
Exactly.
I only have Martin Freeman to relate to, and he's British. I'm so conflicted.
So
I'm gonna go fuck my sister a little bit more. Maybe it'll bring me clarity.
Go fuck yourself, you bumpkin motherfuckers.
Yeah, so just fucking get good characters in there. That's all that really matters in the end.
Don't make a stereotypical gay person.
Don't make a stereotypical
Please,
person. Just make a good fucking character. That's what matters in the end.
Or queer, or any of the other letters that I don't remember what they mean.
Yeah, it's quite expansive these days, but
Lesbian,
if it's not hurting anyone, who cares?
LGBT, transgender, Q, queer.
Yeah.
And then there's a plus sign.
Yeah.
For people who are positively charged.
Here we go. This one is from Victoria. Hey, you guys. You are all awesome.
Thank you.
I cannot speak English. Love the podcast. Listen to it on my hour commute to college. Jesus Christ, that's a long one.
Yammin has a 30-minute commute.
Yeah, but an hour. I wonder if that's both ways or...
Keep reading it.
One way? Okay, anyways. So question. Hopefully this isn't too personal. I'm just noticing more and more people in our general age range, I actually don't have a clue how old you all are, that don't want kids. I personally really don't think I'll ever want kids, and I don't hate them. Love my nieces and nephews more than anything. I feel like I have to say that disclaimer every time. Anyways, just wondering what y'all think about that. Do y'all want kids in the future or the far off distant future? Thanks. Also, fucking shout out to journalism degrees. They're pretty nice people. Thank you, Victoria. I appreciate that.
She asked about her age range. I'm 20.
Yeah, I am
19, I think.
Also 20. I turned 21 in a month. So
I don't want kids. I never want kids.
Yeah, so
Every
my
fucking person yells at you if you say that, though.
Yeah, it's like, oh well, you'll change your
sure,
mind.
Sure, okay. I'm an asshole.
The fucking thing is that I think the biggest thing keeping me from having kids is that besides like, having to have my wife go through something that seems incredibly laborious and them having to like shutter their career basically to be a mother, is that kids are fucking expensive.
Yes, they are.
Like, that's the biggest thing for me. If I was like a billionaire, then I'd be more open to having kids.
Also, I don't think I'm worth like anything as a father. I hate people. I could not stand. Like, if I had to teach someone how to do fucking everything, I would immediately give up. I have no tolerance for that.
But it's really just a money thing. Like, you have to pay
It's all
for
out of that.
pay for their food, pay for college potentially, pay for medical shit. I don't know, man. Like, it's just, and especially, I don't know, man. In this economy, like, especially, I
never know what people
like
mean because I don't really pay attention to the economy that much. I just really pay
well,
attention
actually,
to gas
to
prices.
be honest, the economy is doing pretty well right now. But
That's what
for the
people say.
for the career I've chosen, it is not very lucrative. So I'm
People
not going to be
attribute
rolling
that
in money.
to Trump, and he talks about that a lot. Is that accurate? Is that because of him?
No, not necessarily.
Oh, so
If you want a real, okay, so after the recession,
really simple and simple.
after the recession, when everything went to shit in 2008,
Okay.
Obama came into the office at the height of everything being awful.
Mm-hmm.
Then, by the end of his term, things were really great and things were looking up.
His first term or both?
At the end of both,
Oh.
after the end of 8 years. If you look at a chart, like, unemployment dropped consistently across his entire presidency. So, while I don't think you can contribute, like, he's responsible for that solely, because I think the economy honestly just naturally works in cycles like that. Obama can definitely take more credit for it than Trump can. Like, Trump is basically riding that wave that definitely started under Obama. That's what I have to say about
But yeah, I don't want kids.
Yeah. And even if you take money out of it, like Patrick said, I don't know. I can't imagine myself being a dad. It's also just like a time thing. Like, you would immediately just like not be able to do a lot of the stuff like you'd want to do. And I don't like that.
This is
I'm
making me
not
think
like,
about that scene where Ultron talks about stuff and you can't remember the word for kids, and I wanted to stop watching that movie.
I'm playing God of War right now. And
I
that
love that game.
whole game is a fucking metaphor for fatherhood. And
Except that's a fun version where you can just like,
Yeah.
oh, let's go kill something.
like, if I could only have the good parts of having a kid, then sure. But the time and money commitment is just ridiculous.
I'm looking at, I'm laughing because I can't believe this is a thing that existed. This is trending on r/news. Delaware becomes the first state in the U.S. to fully ban child marriage.
Wow. Congratulations,
Very
Delaware.
progressive.
You're doing fantastic.
We think of ourselves as like high and mighty beings of supreme intelligence, but then fucking people like will be like,
We shouldn't marry kids. It's just like, no, you're wrong, sir. How dare you?
Oh, Jesus. Okay, well, thank you for your emails. We got a new iTunes review. This one's from Hidode, or Hi Dodie. Hi Daddy?
nice job.
This says, 5-star review, thank you. The B movie is the worst thing to ever be created in the history of the world, and it must be destroyed before God punishes us for our sins.
I just watched that the other day, and it's
Hot
so
take.
goddamn bad. Jerry Seinfeld is a fucking psychopath.
That movie's just bizarre. I haven't
So
seen it since it
weird
came
and
out.
Cringy.
I know it's a meme now, and I don't really give a shit enough about it to watch it again.
I think it's funny in memes.
Yeah, I think it's whatever. Who cares? It's like one of those things that has like transcended its original cultural like purpose, and it just shouldn't fucking matter anymore.
They
But
got
it
the
does
guy
because
who plays Joe from Family Guy to play the guy who's like, this bee is ruining my life.
wait, I'll fucking rewatch it just for that.
He's stealing my life.
Oh, we have. I found that we have a few Instagram messages that were message requests that had to
Have you
come
read
through.
all of the emails?
Yeah.
Wow.
New ones. Yeah, it was just like, I mean, we have a bunch on the backlog, but we'll never get to them probably. I'm sorry. This is from PipHap Scallywab on Instagram. Hello, I really enjoy your podcast. I started from the beginning, so I'm not quite to the most recent one, but I have 5 left. Ignore this question if someone's asked already, but I wanted to ask, how do you guys feel about ASMR videos? I personally only enjoy ones where all you hear is food preparation / cooking. I hate the sound of people eating, so I forced myself to listen to people chew ice to start. It sounds weird, but it helps.
What was the question?
How do you feel about ASMR videos?
I hate them.
I do not feel particularly strongly one way or the other about them. Like,
they're inherently sexual. I can't not think of.
Yeah,
them
they
sexual.
are. They
feel
are a
like
little.
porn.
Yeah, they do. And
I'm gonna touch you in your little hand.
like anytime someone whispering anything, it
Feels
just freaks
weird.
me out. Yeah, like, and also like I know some people do it to fall asleep, but I need absolute silence when I sleep. Like I don't like sound.
Well, I'm actually the opposite for sleep. I have earphones in my head until I am asleep. It's done. Like I have noise going somewhere until it's all over. If I have silence, then I'll be thinking about stuff all night.
Do you listen to music? Do you listen to rain noises?
Sometimes I never do. I started doing that for a while, but then I just found that that's part of the silence that makes me think about stuff. So it just sort of because I mean, this area is just always storms and rain and inclement weather, so it's just regular for me to hear that. But it's either a podcast, a video, or some form of music.
Yeah, I know Kalina always falls asleep to like rain noises and stuff, so that's why I asked. All right, last one is from There Was a Kangaroo in My Living Room on Instagram.
Past tense.
I'm really not sure if this has been answered before because I'm a new listener. We have a lot of new listeners, I've noticed. That's pretty cool. And I'm only on episode 8, but how colorblind is Patrick? Like, I've gathered that you guys always record the podcast in separate places. So I was wondering, how often do you meet up and record face-to-face, if ever? Okay, so that's 2 different questions. Well, you can answer your colorblind question.
Am I?
Have you ever gotten it, like, diagnosed professionally, like, see an eye doctor and shit?
No. It isn't really that bad. It's just sometimes I can't tell the difference between dark colors and dark colors. Like if it's a red, it's a certain kind of red or brown or green, sometimes orange, then those will all look the same. Or like blue and pink and stuff like that will look the same. It just varies. Like I can't color in a map in history class, but I don't have to do that anymore, so it's really not a problem. Sometimes if it's really bright out, I can't tell the difference between a red light, a yellow light, or a green light, but they're all different places on the fucking thing, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. And as for do we record face-to-face ever, we tried to once, and it was ended up not working at all because our microphones are the kind of microphones that would pick up, like, everyone's microphones was picking up echoes and shit. Yeah,
stuff like that.
We would need to get different types of microphones that like only get what's coming out of our mouth, basically, because these blue snowballs that we have pick up on like everything everyone is saying. So there's lots of nasty echo, and it sounds awful. But also we're like pretty far away from each other most of the time. Like I am at college and stuff. But now that we're all together for the summer, we're still not going to record in the same room, but probably more Prude Dudes videos and shit coming your way real soon. Not going to promise because who the fuck knows, but would like to do that. All right. Is there anything else you want to say, Patrick, to the people?
No.
Cool. Thank you again for listening, guys. If you want to send us an email about any of the things we talked about today, send that shit to prudedudes@gmail.com. If you want to follow us on Instagram or Twitter, that's at prudedudes. Our individual accounts are at AlexPenna97, Patrick's is at PatrickCharlotte05, and Yammin is at its_Yammin. Thanks again for listening, guys. Make sure you like and don't like. 5-star rating on iTunes really helps the show out. Almost to 70 ratings. Let's see if we can beat that by next week. And until then, people, we will see you again on the other side.
Die.